Idaho Matters is brought to you in part by St. Luke's Pharmacy, now offering free home delivery. For daily medications or one-time prescriptions, home delivery is easy to set up. It's convenient and safe. St. Luke's Pharmacy, now delivering to your doorstep. Information on how to get started at stlukesonline.org.
Love Boise State Public Radio podcasts? They are free to enjoy, but not free to produce. If you can give, your support helps keep shows like Idaho Matters and Scandalize available to everyone. Donate now at boisestatepublicradio.org.
It's Idaho Matters. I'm Samantha Wright, filling in for Jim McGaudette. Idaho Matters was honored by the Idaho Press Club with 5 awards recently, including Best News Talk Show in Idaho, Best Audio Interview, and Best Election Report of 2025. We picked up an award for use of sound for my story about a local bookstore using art to survive. So we wanted to go back and hear it again. Let's take a listen.
Okay, are we ready? Okay, so for those of you that do not know me, I am Mickey. I am your instructor today, and this is all about to get dirty. We're going to get messy. We just don't want to fling it on the walls.
I'm sitting with a small group of strangers, and we're about to take an acrylic paint pour class.
Have any of you done this before? At all? Yay! I love it when you're brand new. Because then you won't be like, oh, I already did that one. There are a lot of different types of techniques. I actually have a list of them right here. I'm going to show you 3 of them, and then you get to pick which one you want to try. You get to pick out your own colors, and you just get to play with it. You get to play in the paint. I believe that everyone is an artist, and no matter what age you're at, you can make something masterful.
We're in the studio half of the bookstore Books on the Vine, and artist and teacher Mickey is mixing paint.
So I make my own paint. I've been doing this long enough that I kind of know by the sound of it if it's thick or if it's too runny or if it's, perfect. So
fellow painters Allison and Kate are paying close attention. Are you here for paint class?
Yes, definitely. Because my daughter invited me, and I have to pay.
It's our monthly activity, our monthly mother-daughter activity.
Nice. Mickey's daughter, Kayla Burns, says we're about to learn a technique called paint pour.
You mix it or stack it, basically, in a cup or some other kind of sometimes we use a dustpan and all kinds of things. And then you pour it over a canvas. And then you tilt it out or you add things to it, or there's a lot of different ways you can go with it. So it's not just like one kind of technique. But instead of sitting there with a brush, you're pouring with cups and all kinds of things that you could do with this.
Yeah, we're always finding new ways to add acrylic paint to a canvas. New and interesting. We have pendulums. We made a new pour called a Jaeger bomb, which we're actually going to do tonight. It's super fun. It's all kinds, any kind of paint apparatus you can think of, we've probably tried.
Books on the Vine is Kayla's baby. She worked for years to save up enough money to give it a go. The very small staff is rounded out by her partner, Zach Tweedy, Kayla's mom, Mickey Woolery, who teaches the paint classes, and puppy dog Bia, who's the official store mascot. Okay, so it's a bookstore. Mm-hmm. See a lot of books. What kind of books are we looking at?
All kinds of books. We have just about everything. We have banned books, poetry, a lot of plays, nonfiction, fiction, sci-fi, fantasy, classics.
Mostly used, but some new. But I'd say 95% used, and then a couple new ones sprinkled in there.
Nice. And art. And what's with the art? There's art everywhere.
Yeah.
Her mom's an artist, and we had space. There's so much room here that we were like, what do we do with the other half? And so they put in an art gallery and an art studio, and it's been one of the funnest things here. Other than books, it's amazing to have an art studio just handy.
Mm-hmm. But it also came from the year before we opened. I wanted to find a place in town where I could hang Mom's art without her knowing, and then take her there for Christmas. and have her see her art hanging somewhere. And it's hard to find places like that where you can just hang something and like just in public and see if it can sell.
And you can make art here. That's the fun part.
Yeah, we do that too.
Do a lot of that, yeah. As you're about to find out in an art class.
But it's not just that. I mean, you've got 3D printing. Tell me all the things you do.
Oh, there's so much.
Let's see, we have the 3D printing for kids events, which is, we just call it 3D paint. We do couples paint swaps. We do, of course, the paint pour class you're about to take. We do an embellishment paint class. We do a rock painting class. We do, there's another one.
Open paint.
Paint, where you can just come and use supplies and space for a fee.
For anything that you want to paint.
Yeah, if you just don't have the means and you would like to paint, and you're looking for a cheap outlet to do that, you come here and basically pay for like a 2-hour block. It's about the price of a paint class, isn't it? 'Cause
it's a little bit less.
A little bit less, yeah. And
based on the canvas size.
Yeah, and then you get a canvas and access to the materials, and we clean up after you. So.
Wow. Okay, I'm still stuck back on rock painting class.
Oh, yeah, we have a rock painting class. She has a bunch that she's painted that line our outside window. And they're actually free to take. Like, people bring them and take them and all kinds of stuff.
And it's our little bookworm.
This little crew has struggled at times to keep the bookstore open. And Kayla and Zach say without the art classes, they wouldn't be able to keep going.
Biggest weekends that we had when she first opened were from art and paint classes. Yeah, specifically the paint class you're about to take. For a couple months there, that was like the main like profit thing. I mean, we sold books, but like consistent profit was coming from doing the paint classes every weekend. So.
Tonight, Nikki is demonstrating 3 different painting techniques, and they're all variations of open pour painting. After the demos, the painters each get a gigantic tray, the kind you would use to make cookies, and a canvas. Then we pick a technique, and we start choosing colors.
Got white, got yellow, got black. All right, so we did green, and we'll go back to green, and then we'll do the brown, and then we'll do that color. I wouldn't do more than 4 or 5, because it'll get too much. It gets muddy. It turns into like just a gray mishmash, and it's not as pretty.
I'm trying the open pour technique. That's where you put a layer of black paint on your canvas, then set a cookie cutter in the middle, and fill up that cutter with different layers of colored paint.
You're doing great.
Nikki says you really can't fail with this technique.
No, there's no such thing as failure. We don't fail at this. We've actually had a guy that he came to several classes, but he would always try to do a technique and he would drop the whole cup or knock it over. And he'd get really mad, and I swear every time he did it, he had the best painting of the night. It was crazy. And he was like, wow, I love that. I actually made that, and it was a mistake. It's pretty cool.
And we're getting a little help from Bia the dog, who wants to paint too. You are so helpful. Yeah, you don't get to eat that. You don't get to eat that. I'm sorry. You don't get to eat it.
And when you're doing your edges,
once we get the paint on, it's time to start tilting the canvas to spread it around and to create the unique effect of this type of painting. So we pick up the big canvas, covered in paint, and start to tilt it back and forth.
The other thing I wanted to tell you guys is when you're tilting, you want to slowly lift it up and take it to the direction you want your paint to go. You don't want to just take your canvas and do this, because you'll just dump all your paint off, if that makes sense. We've actually had that happen once too, where a guy just picked up his canvas and dumped all of his paint off, and we're like,
Mickey is very encouraging as she walks around the table.
Yay, that's a keeper.
Mickey's art hangs on all the walls, along with painted clocks, jewelry, and even colorful handmade drink coasters. Kayla's always looking for fun ways to bring more people into the shop. Nice. Okay, and we're walking around the shop. There are bookshelves everywhere. What's this little corner here? Tell me about these guys. I love these guys.
We do a stuffy sleepover where kids bring in their favorite stuffed animal, and we set them up in little beds. And we use my kids' baby blankets to tuck them in. Then we read them bedtime stories. And then we turn off the light, and they stay the night in the store. And then the next day, when the kids pick them up, they find that their stuffies have had adventures in the bookstore where they drink coffee and get into snacks and paint their own self-portraits. And then they take home their stuffies and their self-portraits.
And all of those are just things that she's crocheted. Yeah, she has a collection of things she's crocheted here. My personal favorite's the chicken. I love the little chickens. But yeah, this is all her crocheted stuff. Just a lot of the things in the store are going to be made by one of the three of us. There's a few things from local artists and a few things that we bought, but most of this is going to be made by Mickey, the art teacher. The other big chunks will be made by Kayla, and then there's a few smatterings of my things are in here.
Okay, I love this idea of the stuffy sleepover. Mm-hmm. Where did this come about?
I'm on a group with a lot of other bookstores across the nation in the UK, where it's just kind of a crowdsource for different ideas, and a lot of bookstores will do this, but we get the art part, so that's where the stuffy self-portrait came in. So usually they just have them leave the stuffies, and then they take pictures of different adventures and then post it.
I'm sorry, that's the coolest thing ever. I got a stuffed animal. I want to bring it here and have it go through. That is so cool.
That little pink guy by the window over there, he is our new stuffy sleepover mascot because he was brought and everything was done.
They never came back for him.
Yeah, they never came back.
So we have a little adoption.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Hi, dude. Oh, he's so cute. Oh my god. Look at him waving. Oh my god, that is so cute.
The pictures for that are adorable.
I bet.
Yeah.
That is so cute. Okay.
Some of us can only paint at a stuffy level, so.
It's a self-portrait, you know? It's your inner self. It's not supposed to be realism. Meanwhile, Mickey is scooping up all the extra paint that we used for our first painting.
I am scraping the paint pans to save it for our big pour. We're going to do a great big canvas. So I call it bucket paint because I'm making a bucket of paint. That's a lot of paint to throw out, so I don't like to waste it, and I don't want it to go in the trash or down the sink because we want to try to minimize that.
Mickey and Kayla pull out a gigantic canvas, and we all start pouring the leftover paint on top. Then we lift up each corner and start tilting.
So what I'm going to do, instead of doing a straight up this way or that way, we're going to teeter, corner, corner, okay?
My fellow painters say they had a really good time.
This is so cool. Yeah. I would love to get the students for my school here.
I think it was really cool, and I want to see if I can get my book club out here. And I think we'll probably end up here again at some point.
No, we are not. Not unless she starts working up some money.
While the painting class helps pay the bills, Kayla and Zach say they want Books on the Vine to be more than just a business.
Relax and have fun.
Yeah, come check it out. It's gonna be your new happy place. It's gonna be where you're gonna want to just hang out and sit and have some tea, read a book, or just stop by and grab a. We keep an entire shelf of dollar paperbacks just in case you just want a quick book to read and you don't want to spend a fortune on it. You always find something here. There's never not something here for you if you like books or art or anything else in between those two. Yeah.
Trinkets.
Yeah.
A lot of trinkets.
Yep.
Books on the Vine just celebrated its 3rd anniversary in Boise, and they plan to keep on bringing books and art to the community.
You've been listening to the Idaho Matters podcast from Boise State Public Radio. To stay in touch, you can find quick Idaho Daily News every morning when you subscribe to the Connector podcast. If this podcast has become a part of your routine, can you tap 5 stars and leave us a review? It helps us stand out. Hi, Idaho Matters podcast listeners. If you're on your smartphone right now, or if you have it nearby, I wanted to pop in to tell you about something to check out. Boise State Public Radio is now on Nextdoor. Here's what that means. Trusted local news, thoughtful reporting, and stories from across Idaho right along your neighborhood updates. If you already have the Nextdoor app, you're halfway there. Just search Boise State Public Radio and hit follow.